Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So, tonight is a very big night in the 2016 presidential election. The Republican and Democratic Party, both, are engaged in the Iowa caucus that is presently going on. And a lot of people are really interested, especially with the Republican election that we're having take place, or the Republican caucus, I mean. Because you have a lot of people saying, Rubio's saying, oh, Ted Cruz is going to win. Of course, Ted Cruz is saying that he's going to win. And no one's really, that's running for that, for the presidency anyway, saying that Donald Trump is going to win. And I find that very interesting. Even when all the polls are basically saying that Donald Trump is more than likely going to win this thing, the Republican establishment is still in denial. It's absolutely hilarious. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think, because I've been looking at the polls. I've been looking at the way that America feels right now. I think that Donald Trump is not only going to take Iowa, I think he's going to take New Hampshire, and I think he's going to take South Carolina. And I think that Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States. I have said that multiple times on this show. I'm going to say it again. That's what I think is going to happen. And, you guys are just going to have to wait and see. Because America is tired of political parties. They are tired of this partisanship that we're seeing because both sides have abandoned us. That's how America feels. They feel that both sides, the Republican Party, has abandoned their constituents, along with the Democratic Party. So they want someone who is for the American people. And that somebody they think is Donald Trump. And that is exactly what is taking place right now in this country. And according to Real Clear Politics, and they take all the different polls and combine them all together to come up with their RCP average. And they have Donald Trump at 30.4% compared to Ted Cruz in second place with 24.2%. So Trump is up by 6.2%. According to a Monmouth poll, Trump is up 7%. According to NBC, Wall Street Journal, and I believe it's Marist poll, Trump is up 7%. According to the PPP, Triple P, I guess that's if you have to really use a bathroom, Trump is up by 8 points. So Trump is really in the lead a lot here. Now, we have the Bloomberg poll along with the DM Register that has Trump at 5 points. But Trump is leading in every single poll. The lowest that he's at is 4 points, and that's by a Gravis poll. So, guys, Trump is more than likely going to win Iowa. He's winning up around the evangelical areas. He's, of course, winning in the business sector. The only thing that's a little bit half and half is the mid-region of Iowa, where they're questioning if Marco Rubio is going to win that because that's where he's been focusing a lot of his energy. But, it really would not surprise me, guys, if Trump wins Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. I think it's going to happen. I think that you're going to see a massive landslide victory for Donald Trump when it comes to these various caucuses that we're seeing take place in primaries. So, guys, I'm just telling you the way that I think regarding this, and this is based upon observations. Now, another thing that I want to tell you here, apparently there's a snowstorm that is coming in to Iowa, and according to AccuWeather, this advancing snow may deter voters. The 2016 presidential election season officially gets underway Monday evening, February 1st, with the Iowa caucuses, and advancing snow may affect voter turnout. Voters from Iowa's 99 counties will meet in caucuses as the first step to determine who will represent the state at the Republican and Democratic national conventions. However, a winter storm moving from the Intermountain West will unleash a blizzard from Colorado to Iowa and northern Michigan later on Monday into early Wednesday. I wonder if it's going to hit our state. You guys, my friends down there in South Carolina, you get all the nice weather. up here in West Virginia. Oh, my gosh, it's horrible. Freezing cold. Georgia, you guys get nice weather, too. We're freezing up here. I mean, it gets a little bit around 50 degrees. You guys are cold. Try getting about 18. We were going to school in 9-degree weather. Horrible. But anyway, so that's what's happening in Iowa. So it might deter, according to AccuWeather, might deter some voters. I was going to say tourists. I don't know why I said tourists. So yeah, so that's what we're seeing take place there. And I was watching Fox News. I think it was Fox News that said this. But travel is almost, it's on Cavuto. Travel is almost going to be impossible on Tuesday, is what they said. So it's going to be very, very interesting with all that taking place. Oh, by the way, here's another thing. This is really, really huge, okay? According to Reuters, this is amazing, guys. Donald Trump has 41.5. I'm going to say that again. 41.5% support in the Republican presidential primary. And this is a national poll. 41.5% support. Second place is Ted Cruz, and guess what number he has? Only 12.7. 12.7. Ben Carson is in third with 10.9. Marco Rubio is in fourth with 10%, and Jeb Bush is in fifth with 7.4%. This is according to Reuters, anyway. But that's really quite a huge number. I mean, this is just absolutely amazing, guys, especially considering that just a few months ago Trump was at around 30%. Then he went up to 37%. But Ted Cruz is, from what it appears anyway, Ted Cruz is losing a lot of support. Because Cruz was at 16% at one point. Now he's all the way at 12%. Rubio, it looks like Rubio's been benefiting from Cruz along with Ben Carson. But, one thing that I also want to tell you, one of the reasons why I think that Ted Cruz is doing so poorly in a lot of these polls coming out of Iowa that we're seeing is that, quite frankly, and I love Ted Cruz. I think Ted Cruz is a good guy, and like I've said before, I think eventually he will make an excellent president. I just don't think he's going to get it this time around. But Cruz is sort of being a jerk. And I'm sorry, I mean, I say it the way it is here, and I still once again, I love Ted Cruz. I think he's a great senator. When it comes to fighting for conservatism in the Senate, he's done a very good job. But he's being a jerk. And the people of Iowa are seeing that. And here's what I mean, all right? I released an article on Cowger Nation of where Ted Cruz sent out these mailers of where he listed each resident. He sent these mailers out to various residents. And at the top of this mailer, he has a thing on there that says voter violation or voting violation, whatever. And it's in big, bold, red letters like it's a traffic ticket or something. But so that's what Ted Cruz sent out. And let me I'm going to pull up the picture here so I can describe it a little bit better. Yeah, here we go. So it says voting violation up at the top of this mailer thing. And underneath of that, it says, and it's like designed like a ticket. And underneath of the big bold letters that say voting violation, it says, you are receiving this election notice because of low expected voter turnout in your area. Your individual voting history as well as your neighbors are public record. Their scores are published below. They published how often residents' neighbors go out and caucus, along with publishing that resident's record for caucusing. Isn't that horrible? I mean, even if it's public information, that's still, I think, a violation of privacy. And continuing here, their scores are published below. Many of them will see your scores well. That sounds like they're trying to intimidate these voters, these residences. Horrible. Caucus on Monday to improve your score. And please encourage your neighbors to caucus as well. A follow-up notice may be issued following Monday's caucuses. Why? I mean, they're done in Iowa. Why would a following one be done? You want me to tell you why? It's probably because it's not. It's because Cruz and his dimwits that are working for his campaign thought that, hey, well, maybe if we scare them, they'll vote. That's what it's about. It's about shaming residences into voting for Ted Cruz. And I'm sorry, I love Ted Cruz. I think Ted Cruz is a very conservative senator. But the thing is that he surrounds himself with absolute idiots, okay? I mean, you had C.J. Pearson. He hired him. He was a liberal teenager. I said he was a liberal teenager. No one listened to me. Turns out he ends up breaking away from Cruz's campaign, was working as Dean for Ted as a chairman there, and then ended up going and switching over to Bernie Sanders, became a socialist, which if Cruz would have listened to this show, that wouldn't have happened. If a lot of people would have listened to this show, that wouldn't have happened. But Cruz is surrounding himself by more imbeciles. I mean, why in the world? Rick Tyler, another guy, he lied about Donald Trump and said that Donald Trump supported same-sex marriage. Trump has never supported same-sex marriage. Rick Tyler, another dimwit, okay? You don't lie about your opponents, especially when you're claiming to be running a Christian, good-hearted campaign, all right? You don't lie. Bible says God hates when people lie. So, guys, and then we have, let me get you this other quote here. But Ted Cruz admitted, and I'll get you who put this out here in a second, but Ted Cruz admitted that, that was a part of his campaign because a whole bunch of people were saying, no, Caiden, you don't know what you're talking about. That's a lie. You're just spreading pro-Trump propaganda. How much money, how many billions did Trump give you to publish that story? And then it turns out Ted Cruz in a video interview ends up admitting, we published those and I'm not going to apologize for it. We sent those out. And then everyone who is saying that stuff about me looks like they're half out of their mind because they didn't do the research. But this was verified by the Cruz campaign. And let me find out. They don't even have an update on who. I don't even see the update. But anyway, Rick Tyler confirmed it to IG Review that the mailer was theirs in a phone call interview. So, guys, it's really just absolutely pathetic what we saw take place there. And I don't even understand why you would resort to doing such a thing. Seriously, why would you try to intimidate people into voting for you? Does that make any sense whatsoever? It's almost like Ted Cruz was trying to lose. It's like he's just completely given up. And the Iowa Secretary of State has scolded Cruz over the controversial mailers, said that that's not right, said that it was actually in violation of the law, and he shouldn't have done it. And Ted Cruz just responded back, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize for that. We're going to do everything that we possibly can to reach out to people and get them to caucus, even if I guess it means trying to intimidate them. And Rand Paul said that those were the tactics of a career politician. That was Rand Paul. And he said, hypocrisy is Ted Cruz shaming Iowa caucus goers for missing votes after missing the audit the Fed bill thing that was going on. Because Cruz was supposed to vote on the audit the Fed thing, but he ended up going to New Hampshire, I believe, to this campaign event that was going up there. And, of course, that's a very, very important thing that Ted Cruz ended up missing out on. So, really, it's just so absolutely ridiculous. And here I have the thing for you of Ted Cruz from the Weekly Standard. Ted Cruz said that he will apologize to nobody for sending those mailers out. What a jerk statement is that? I'm just telling you the way it is. It's a ridiculous statement. Matt Schultz, that's it. Schultz, I know nothing. I see nothing. Matt Schultz, the other lunatic that's working for the Cruz campaign, is the one who put out a statement over the routine. And he apparently has given the okay to do that. So, guys, really, it's just so absolutely pathetic seeing what is taking place among Cruz's campaign. He is imploding. And, guys, what you have to understand is that when you surround yourself with people who are not good for you, who are dishonest, who are complete jerks, and that's what Ted Cruz has done. He's surrounded himself by complete jerks. You end up suffering for it.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time. Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
J.P. Morgan is now holding a record 55 million ounces of silver. Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting another financial crisis, and over time, they're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. Silver is trading below its production costs and is predicted to double by 2020. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. If you find a better rate, they will easily match it just for you. Plus, their specialty is precious metals IRA rollovers for the ultimate in IRA security. Be one of the first 20 callers today to receive their free definitive gold guide, plus their exclusive A Sterling Time to Be Buying Silver report. They have an A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau, so call the experts at Capital Gold Group now and see what investing in gold and silver can do for you. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. Once again, that is 1-800-932-4108.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Paraswabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Paraswabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Paraswabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this idea, if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. 9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Paraswabs. Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Paraswabs treatment. Paraswabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. So I was watching CNN, and they had some younger guys that were on there, really nice guys, supporting Donald Trump. Very, very supportive of Donald Trump, and they are teenagers. I think they were around 18, 19. I think they said that they were 18, something like that. But they are very strong advocates for Trump, and they are just all on board the Trump train. You had Tate Moyer, I think, was one of them, and there was another guy, I forget what his name was. But they're on board for Trump. They want Trump in there, and that is something that I've really been seeing take place among a lot of these younger people that are, getting out there, getting involved, supporting Trump. They're jumping on board. I've seen young people that are getting involved into politics that have never been interested in politics before. Hated politics, never didn't care about it. And all of a sudden they're jumping on board. And it's really just fascinating to me. They took a poll at my school, Buchanan Upshur High School. And we're mixed. We have mixed people there. We have liberals, we have conservatives there, moderates. So really, it is a fairly diverse school. I think that a lot of them are conservative there, though. But anyway, they took a poll at my school, and 68% of the students that were polled support Trump over Hillary. 68%, almost 70%. Support Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton. And that left 32% for Hillary. Now, if that would carry over to the national poll, my gosh, look at how well we would be doing with millennials there if Donald Trump was the nominee. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Well, and just to give you another view here, I looked this up too, and another thing, because what they did, and this is how the poll was conducted, or AP, I believe it was AP Civics class or AP Government class, or the teacher, it's Mr. Stokel, divided his classes up, or had different groups in his AP class and divided them up, and he randomly sent them out to just randomly poll various kids during our lunch period, and each group collected the information, and in the end, he totaled it all up together. I think he had like 5 to 9 groups, something like that. I don't know. But anyway, somewhere around there. And there was probably around 200 kids that were polled total. Maybe a little bit more than that. But it was a pretty decent number. Of course, there's going to be a percentage of error there. But seeing this, 68% to 32%, the margin of error cannot be greater. Even if the margin of error was like at 20%, or even if it was like at 10%, which is very, very high in a poll, I don't really understand how you could say that Trump is doing poorly with millennials with those numbers, 68 to 32, because even if there's a large margin of error there, it wouldn't, I doubt it would exceed probably around, of course, it definitely wouldn't exceed 15%, I don't think. But you just wonder if that would carry over in the national election. It's interesting anyway. If that would carry over on the national level, how well Trump would do with millennials. And that's what I said before. I said this several months ago. I think that if Donald Trump becomes the nominee, he's going to win the millennial vote. Millennials do not want to live in their mother's basement for the rest of their lives. Okay, they want to go out and they want to be prosperous themselves. So, guess who they're going to vote for? They're going to vote for someone who's inspirational, someone who is great with business, someone who they want to be like, and that person is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the poster child for success, and millennials see that. And that's one of the reasons why I think Trump is going to win the millennial vote, because millennials want to be just like him. They want to be successful. They want to find the American dream, because right now it is almost unattainable. And they believe that Donald Trump, just like many other Americans who aren't young, who are middle-aged, who are senior citizens, They believe that Donald Trump could very well make America great again, and that's why I think we're going to see a Donald Trump victory in Iowa, in New Hampshire, and in South Carolina. That's what I think is going to happen, and of course the Republican establishment's not going to admit that. Some of my friends, I don't think, in the Christian talk radio industry are going to admit that because they allow their judgment or their high opinion of Cruz to sort of tamper with their political judgment regarding assessing these primaries and caucuses. But guys, I'm a realist, and I think that we are going to see Donald Trump as the next president of the United States. More than likely, that's what you're going to see happen. Now, another thing that I want to focus on real quick, let's go to the Democratic caucus that's going on in Iowa, because I haven't talked about that yet. Mostly all the polls, except Quinnipiac, I believe is how you pronounce it, and ARG, have Clinton winning. All except those two. But Clinton is, most of the polls are saying that Clinton is only ahead by somewhere around 3%. 3.3% is what Real Clear Politics has her at a 3.3% lead. Clinton is at 47.3% compared to Sanders at 44%. And I think that there's, I was watching Fox News, and they said something like a little over 40% of Democrats in Iowa identify themselves as being socialists. So, yeah, that should really make you sleep well at night. But that's pretty big number. And if that is the case, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory as to why Sanders has a 44% lead. I mean, if around 40% of the Democrats over in Iowa are socialists, then, of course, Sanders is going to at least have that number to his advantage. But, guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you. The Democrats have often compared the Republican Party to Adolf Hitler. I mean, they've done it multiple times. They've said that we're equivalent to Hitler. We're equivalent to the Nazis. Adolf Hitler was a socialist. He was a socialist. And no one really wants to talk about that, especially when you bring up Bernie Sanders. Adolf Hitler was an authoritarian, but he was a socialist. Now, here's the thing. Are we seriously going to say that, yeah, what's wrong with Bernie? There's nothing wrong with Bernie, when Bernie has relatively the same economic principles as Adolf Hitler? I mean, let's just face it, that's the way it is. And the thing is that for years we have been told that the Republican Party is full of socialists, that we are full of Hitler-like voters in our party, where I guess it's Hitler-minded. We have a Hitler-minded electorate, according to the Democrats. But now we're seeing where not only do socialists exist in the Democratic Party, but large portions of socialists exist in the Democratic Party. Somewhere around 40%, a little over 40% compared to like 4% in the Republican Party. So it's really just absolutely pathetic to see the reality coming to light. I mean, it's nice to see, but we've been fed this lie so long by the mainstream media, and now everything's being revealed that it's not true. And by the way, I think that one person that you can thank for the media crumbling is Donald Trump. I mean, John McCain, of course, all of us know who was like if you were paying attention to politics back in 2008, John McCain was in absolute love with the mainstream media. He thought the media loved him, and he defended the media any chance that he got. Well, he's defended the media again, and he's saying that Donald Trump is responsible for the destruction of the press in the United States. It's according to an article from Breitbart.com. Seriously. One man, Donald Trump, has taken down the press. Well, all I can say is that it's about time, because the press has been on the side of the Democrats, not the side of the American people, which they are supposed to be. The press is supposed to be the organization in the United States that provides accurate information to the people and allows the people to speak.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
When you're ready to take the edge off a hectic day, I suggest you start with a little music from Franz Black.
I guess there's lots of ways to look at things that don't seem right.
No Worries has just been released on iTunes and Amazon.
It's gonna be alright.
You can find Franz Black and his music on his website, franzblack.com. F-R-A-N-Z black.com.
It's gonna be alright.
Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. 1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Power Swabs. Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Power Swabs treatment. Power Swabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. 4817. That is 1-800-678-4817.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. Hey, listen to this. Investors Business Daily has released an article here on Bernie Sanders. And apparently, Bernie Sanders' tax plan would kill a few jobs. Just a few. Like 6 million. Yeah, 6 million jobs is how many jobs that Investors Business Daily is saying that Bernie Sanders would absolutely destroy. According to the website, Bernie Sanders planned to raise taxes by $13.6 trillion over the... Oh, my. Okay, hang on. I've got to get through this. Give me a second. All right, listen, I'm going to say this again. Bernie Sanders wants to raise taxes by $13.6 trillion. $13.6 trillion. I remember Bernie Sanders saying that also in the debate or in the town hall thing that CNN had. The guy asked him, the moderator asked Bernie Sanders if he was going to raise taxes, and his response was, "We will raise taxes. Yes, we will." Okay. So Bernie Sanders wants to raise taxes by $13.6 trillion over the next decade. And it would have a devastating effect on the economy. Bernie doesn't care. According to a detailed analysis released Thursday by the Tax Foundation, the analysis concludes that his tax hikes would cut GDP growth by 9.5%, reduce the nation's capital stock by 18.6%, and result in 6 million fewer full-time equivalent jobs. Well, that's all the more reason to raise the minimum wage, is what the Democrats will say. Because, see, minimum wage jobs are mainly part-time jobs, okay? And that's why the Democrats are so really hot and heavy on raising the minimum wage, because they are unable to create full-time jobs. Because in order to create full-time jobs, that means that you have to get the government out of people's business. And they don't want to do that. They want to expand government, not limit government. They want to strengthen regulation, strengthen their hold on the private sector, rather than loosening it up and letting them breathe. They don't want to do that. They believe in choking them to death. It's horrible. So, because all these jobs that are in existence out there, mainly part-time jobs, they want to raise the minimum wage. So those part-time jobs receive the same pay as a present full-time job. And what's going to happen as a result of that is that you're going to see rapid inflation, and then everybody's going to have to raise their prices. Everyone's going to be wanting a raise, and the value of the dollar, once again, goes down the toilet. But hey, that's what the Democrats want. Mitt Romney even wants it, and he's such a rhino. I tell you, I don't even know why people supported that man, held their nose and had to vote. I'm tired of making decisions like that. It's so stupid. But anyway, Sanders' plan would significantly increase marginal tax rates on capital and labor income. Authors Alan Cole and Scott Greenberg say this would result in a substantial reduction of the size of the U.S. economy in the long run. Wonderful. After accounting for the economic harm done by Sanders' tax hikes, the Tax Foundation figures that will end up producing 28% less actual revenue than advertised over 10 years. See, the reason why Sanders is doing so well in the Democratic Party is because he's attracting all of the idiots. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. It's the truth. He's attracting all of the uneducated, low-information voters. Socialism is an ideology that attracts idiots. Okay, it attracts people that have not done their research, that have not looked up what happened in Soviet Russia, that have not looked up what has happened in China, that have not looked up what has happened in Venezuela, that have not looked up what has happened in Cuba. They don't look this stuff up. All they do is just hear We get free stuff, so they're going to go and vote for Bernie Sanders because they want free college, free health care, all this other stuff, free tuition to public universities, state universities. Nothing is ever free. Someone always has to pay for it. But people are not smart enough to figure that out. And it's so absolutely ridiculous, all right? Because, see, here's the way that I look at it. I'm going to go to college. I would rather have debt upon myself. My debt. I want to be responsible for my debt. And eventually, I will get that debt paid off. If you make college free for everybody, you know what's going to happen? It means I'm going to be paying that stupid debt for the rest of my life along with everybody else's. Because that is going to be an added tax. So basically, you're going to be paying for college for the rest of your life on earth. That's horrible. And it does not need to happen. But that's what Bernie Sanders advocates for. It's so absolutely outrageous. This is how socialism comes in and destroys everything. But some people out there, they're not smart enough to understand that. All right? And the Democratic Party will not really take a firm stand against socialism because such a large portion of their party is made up of socialists. As a matter of fact, a lot of them, I think, are closet socialists. So, guys, we really are, people who support Bernie Sanders, oh, it just drives me nuts. They're so blind to what's going on. They don't know anything. They have the basic, they don't have any understanding of economics whatsoever, right? They understand absolutely nothing when it comes to economics. I tell you, I'm so done with the Democrats. I really am. I'm tired of it. I mean, guys, I beg you, evangelicals, hear me out here, all right? That's one of the advantages of being a Christian and being an evangelical myself and being on a Christian radio station in the Myrtle Beach area. You guys are a very important area when it comes to the South Carolina primaries especially. A lot of times they have debates and stuff there. I want you to listen to me. Evangelicals that listen to this show, thank you for listening. God bless you. I love you, all right? Listen to me, though. A lot of evangelicals do not turn out for elections. Okay, that's been one of the biggest problems. If all evangelicals would get out and vote, we would have the biggest voter bloc in the entire country. In this upcoming election, you need to get out of your house and vote. If you have never registered before, go to your courthouse and register. Get out there and vote, all right? We have to get... That's part of the reason why our nation is going downhill so much. It's because Christians aren't voting. They're not getting involved. We have this mentality that we have to separate ourselves from politics, that God and politics do not exist, or should not exist in the same sentence. And that's not true. A matter of fact, I also am going to call out this. If you're a Christian and you are even slightly interested in politics, and if you can do it, or if you think that you might have a chance of doing it, you seriously need to get out there and run for elected office. We need more Christians in government. We need more Christians taking a stand for morality on a governmental level. And the only way for that to happen is if people get out, and if they register, and if they vote, and if they run for that elected office. Because we trust these politicians that claim to be evangelicals, that claim to be Christians every time that the election cycle rolls around. And the next thing you know, they're voting for immorality when they get to Washington, D.C. Or even on a local level. On state levels, a lot of times, they do the same exact thing. They claim to be Christians when they're running in the election. They campaign in churches. They do all this other stuff. But then when they get in there, they end up completely turning their backs on us. Please get involved. Run for public office yourself. And in this upcoming election, vote for candidates that have expressed biblical values. Don't vote for candidates that have a history, especially in recent years or months, of supporting liberal policies. Because that's what we have to be aware of. And I'm talking about the establishment.
Caiden Cowger.
Keeping America straight.
Somebody had to say it.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
Call 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597.
Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this idea, if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. 1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Power Swabs. Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Power Swabs treatment. Power Swabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. 1-800-824-9762. That's 1-800-824-9762.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. I tell you, Hillary Clinton is very concerned, though. She is worried about Bernie Sanders because they're really trying to fend off attacks. Hillary's trying to win Iowa. Bernie Sanders is coming up behind her. It's close. And another thing, liberal mega donor George Soros, the guy who called for the New World Order, has just given $6 million to Hillary Clinton's super PAC. $6 million. So, yeah, Hillary's got support. She has support. Her cronies are still backing her. So you don't have to worry about that. Oh, another thing. Chris Matthews is starting to get funny feelings again. Remember when he said that, and this is his words, he said when President Obama was running, he got to throw up his leg. Well, apparently now he's feeling butterflies regarding Iowa. This is Chris Matthews. Go ahead and play this. We have the audio here for you. It's always funny listening to MSNBC. It's almost like Comedy Central. We don't get Comedy Central anymore because Suddenly took it off. But anyway, here we go. This is Chris Matthews.
In Des Moines. Chris, two things. What does it feel like there, which is actually an important question with 24 hours to go? And what do you think Iowa's role will be in this cycle? Sometimes they've been an incredible predictor. Sometimes the result has been complete.
Oh, and by the way, yes, you're hearing correctly. That is Brian Williams, excuse me. Yeah, the guy from NBC. Yeah, that's the liar, the news reporter. They moved him to MSNBC after he made all those outrageous claims because I guess they look at MSNBC as not being much of a reliable news network at the NBC studio. So yeah, that's just wanted to point that out. Continue playing.
Irrelevant to the race for president.
Well, I have to start by saying I feel butterflies out here in the locker room. It's a very strange time to try to be a pundit or a journalist in politics because we're into strange territory. The polling, as you just pointed out, shows Donald Trump leading in Iowa. Now think about that. This is the Iowa Republican caucus that picked Santorum a couple times ago, that picked Santorum the last time, they picked Mike Huckabee before that, and all those years before that, unhyphenated Republicans like Doles and Bushes. And here it is.
So that was Chris Matthews. So yeah, so he's got butterflies now. He has butterflies in his stomach, like he's in a locker room. Which, so that's I'm sorry I played that for you. That was I hope I didn't cause you to lose too many IQ points. Anyway, by the way, another thing I wanted to point out about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is really not an ideologue much because you've been hearing probably this claim out there that Donald Trump is somehow this huge Democrat. And Bill O'Reilly has said this on his show multiple times that he's known Trump for a long time and he's really just not an ideologue. He's never really clinged to a political party until here recently. And you hear the Cruz campaign, a lot of other campaigns out there saying, well, Donald Trump is really secretly a Democrat. He's donated to the Clintons. But, the thing is that Donald Trump has also donated to the Republicans throughout the years. And I want you to listen to this because it's very complicated to follow. Originally, Donald Trump was a Democrat until 1987. From 1987 to 1999, Trump was a Republican. From 1999 to 2001, Trump was a member of the Reform Party. From 2001 to 2009, Trump was a member of the Democratic Party. From 2009 to 2011, Trump was a Republican. From 2011 to 2012, Trump was an independent. And then from 2012 to present day, Trump was a Republican. So Trump has really just tried them all out. He's not an ideologue, like Bill O'Reilly said. So there's really, I think he has his own philosophy going for him there. So we'll see if he can make America great again. So guys, I want to thank you for listening to us tonight. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerprogram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God save this nation.